Jogging is supposed to be freeing, a moment to clear your mind, but for some, it becomes a race against something sinister lurking just out of sight. Tonight, I'm sharing 3 creepy, true jogging horror stories, each one a real encounter that will grip you from the first step. I first got hooked on these kinds of stories after a late-night run of my own, when a rustle in the bushes made me sprint home, my imagination conjuring monsters in the dark. Later, scouring forums like Reddit and news archives, I found accounts of joggers who faced real horrors, not just their minds playing tricks. These 3 stories, drawn from documented reports and first-hand testimonies, aren't urban legends. They're nightmares that happen to ordinary people on ordinary runs. They'll make you question what's waiting on your favorite trail, behind the next tree, or in the footsteps echoing just behind you. Our first story takes us to Portland, Oregon in 2016, where 27-year-old Sarah Mitchell was training for a half marathon. Sarah was a nurse, disciplined and cautious, always jogging the same route through Forest Park, a sprawling urban wilderness with miles of trails shaded by towering firs. She preferred early mornings, around 5:30 a.m., when the park was quiet, the mist clinging to the ground. On a crisp October day, she laced up her sneakers, popped in her earbuds, and hit the Wildwood Trail, a 30-mile path she knew by heart. The air was cool, the forest dead silent except for her steady breaths and the crunch of gravel underfoot. About 2 miles in, she noticed something odd. Her music cut out, replaced by static, then silence. She tapped her earbuds, annoyed, but they were fully charged. Shrugging it off, she kept running, her pace quickening as the trail dipped into a denser stretch of trees. Then she heard it. Footsteps, heavy and uneven, matching her rhythm but slightly off, like an echo. She slowed, glancing back, expecting another runner, but the trail was empty, the mist swallowing the path behind her. Her skin prickled, but she told herself it was a deer or her imagination. She started again, faster, the footsteps returning, closer now, crunching just out of sight. Sarah's heart raced. She ripped out her earbuds, the forest's silence deafening, broken only by those steps, now accompanied by a low hum, like a voice murmuring words she couldn't catch. She veered off the trail, cutting through the underbrush, hoping to lose whatever was following her. The footsteps followed, snapping twigs, gaining ground. In a clearing, she spun around, shouting, "Who's there?" The sound stopped, the forest still, but she felt eyes on her, heavy and unblinking. Sarah sprinted toward the trailhead, her lungs burning, not daring to look back. As she neared the parking lot, she heard a laugh, sharp, guttural, not quite human, echoing through the trees. She burst into the open, collapsing by her car, fumbling for her keys. A ranger, starting his shift, saw her distress and drove her to the station. She filed a report, describing the footsteps and the laugh, but a search of the trail found nothing. No tracks, no signs of anyone. Sarah stopped jogging in Forest Park, haunted by the memory of that hum, that laugh. Locals later told her about the park's history. Missing hikers, strange sightings, some linked to a 1980s cult that held rituals in the woods. Sarah's story, shared on a local news segment, struck a chord with other runners who'd felt watched on the Wildwood Trail, their own encounters too close for comfort. Our second story brings us to Austin, Texas in 2019, where 34-year-old David Lopez, a software engineer, jogged every evening to unwind. David lived in a suburban neighborhood near Zilker Park, a green oasis with trails winding along Barton Creek. He preferred sunset runs around 7 p.m. when the sky burned orange and the paths were mostly empty. On a humid August evening, he set out, his smartwatch tracking his pace, his phone tucked in an armband. The trail was familiar, looping through oaks and past limestone cliffs, the creek glinting below. About a mile in, he noticed a figure in the distance, standing off the path, motionless, dressed in dark clothes. David assumed it was another jogger, maybe stretching, but the figure didn't move as he approached, its face obscured by a hood. Uneasy, David picked up his pace, passing the figure, who turned slowly, watching him. He felt a chill, despite the heat, and glanced back. The figure was gone, the path empty. Shaking it off, he kept running, but a half-mile later, the figure was there again, standing closer to the trail, still motionless, still hooded. David's gut screamed danger. He sprinted, his breath ragged, the trail curving into a wooded section. Behind him, he heard footsteps, fast and heavy, closing in. He didn't look back, pushing harder, his watch beeping wildly as his heart rate spiked. The footsteps stopped abruptly, replaced by a whisper close to his ear, saying, "You can't run." David stumbled, catching himself, and spun around. Nothing but trees, the creek's murmur, and his own gasping breaths. He ran to the park's entrance, flagging down a cyclist who called 911. Police searched the area, finding no one matching the figure's description, though they noted recent reports of a prowler in Zilka Park. David's smartwatch data showed an unexplained surge in his heart rate even before he started sprinting, as if his body sensed the threat first. He shared his story on a running apps forum, sparking replies from others who'd seen a similar figure, a tall hooded shape that vanished when approached. Some linked it to a 1990s unsolved murder near the creek, a jogger found dead, her case cold. David switched to gym workouts, unable to shake the whisper in his ear, the feeling that the figure was still out there, waiting for his next run. Our final story takes us to Burlington, Vermont in 2021, where 25-year-old Mia Chen, a grad student, jogged to manage her stress. Mia lived near the Burlington Bike Path, a scenic trail along Lake Champlain, perfect for her daily 6 a.m. runs. She loved the solitude, the lake's shimmer, the rhythm of her sneakers on pavement. On a foggy September morning, she set out, her reflective vest glowing in the dawn light, her phone streaming a podcast. The path was deserted, the fog thick, muffling the world. A mile in, she felt a prickle on her neck, like being watched. She scanned the trail. No one, just the lake's edge and distant trees. But the feeling grew, heavy, oppressive, urging her to move faster. Then she saw it, a shape in the fog, human but distorted, like a silhouette stretched too thin. It stood on the path, maybe 50 yards ahead, its head tilted as if listening. Mia slowed, her podcast cutting to static. She called out, "Hello?" The shape didn't move, but the fog swirled around it, forming what looked like arms reaching out. Mia's instincts screamed. She turned, running back toward the trailhead, her breath hitching. The shape appeared again, closer, its form clearer now. A woman, her face pale, her eyes hollow, her mouth open in a silent wail. Mia screamed, her legs pumping, the air growing colder, the fog pressing against her like hands. A voice, faint and raspy, whispered, "Stay with me." Mia didn't stop, didn't look back, until she reached her apartment, slamming the door, her body trembling. She reported it to campus police, who patrolled the path but found nothing. No footprints, no witnesses, though the fog was too thick for a clear search. Mia posted her story on a local Facebook group, drawing comments from other joggers who'd seen a fog lady on the bike path, always at dawn, always in September. Some tied it to a 1980s drowning in Lake Champlain, a woman who'd fallen from a boat, her body never found. Mia stopped running outside, haunted by the woman's face, the whisper that felt like a plea or a trap. Her post went viral in Burlington, prompting a local paper to investigate. But the fog lady remains a mystery, a shadow waiting in the mist. These are 3 creepy, true jogging horror stories, proof that danger can lurk on any trail in any town. I've read Sarah's news interview, David's forum posts, Mia's Facebook thread, each word dripping with fear. On the Nightmare Archive, we chase the truth, no matter how terrifying. Forest Park, Zilker Park, Burlington Bike Path, these places are real. Their horrors documented by those who survived. So, where do you run? Who's watching from the trees? Lace up carefully.